A very good evening and welcome to English News Bulletin here on Rwanda Television. We'll begin with the headlines. The Speaker of the Rwandan Parliament, Gertrude Kazarwa, urges citizens to practice good hygiene and care for their children. The Deputy Prime Minister of Lesotho, Ntomeng Majara, expressed her admiration for the cooperation between the Rwandan citizens and the authorities in advancing the country's development. My name is Olive Nete, and it's always a pleasure to have you with us. I hope you are having a restful weekend. Let's take a closer look at the news. President Paul Kagame of Rwanda conveyed his appreciation and best wishes to the new chair of the Commonwealth, Prime Minister Fiame Naomi Matafa of Samoa, as she assumes leadership for the next 2 years. In his message shared on his X account, President Kagame expressed his gratitude for Samoa's warm hospitality and the meticulous preparations for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting held this year in Samoa. President Kagame affirmed Rwanda's commitment to working collaboratively with all Commonwealth member states, emphasizing the honor and privilege it has been for Rwanda to lead the Commonwealth. Now, moving ahead to other matters, the Deputy Prime Minister of Lesotho, Ntomeng Majara, expressed her admiration for the cooperation between the Rwandan citizens and authorities in advancing the country's development. She highlighted this after participating in a special community work event with residents of Kigali on Saturday. We have details. Residents of Gahanga in Kicukiro district dedicated their Umuganda community work to planting a variety of trees, including fruit and other types. They expressed commitment to taking ownership of this tree planting initiative. I came to make my contribution to this tree planting initiative, as planting trees is essential to our daily lives and the quality of the air we breathe.
Icyo dukwiye gukora mu buryo bwo kubungabunga ibi biti cyane ni ukumenya umutekano wabyo.
As residents, to preserve these trees, we must ensure that people are prohibited from cutting them down, prevent livestock from grazing where they are planted, and stop any misuse of these trees.
The
Deputy Prime Minister of Lesotho, Ntomeng Majara, who is on a working visit to Rwanda, also joined the community in this initiative. She expressed her appreciation for the tree planting efforts.
I want to especially talk about the Umuganda. To me, it is very special. I've never seen anything like this. I am not surprised that Rwanda is such, especially Kigali, is such a beautiful and clean city. And it is no surprise that we have been rated as the most or the cleanest city in Africa. I bear witness to that today. And I'm going to take back home some of the initiatives and programs and best practices that I've learned. But most importantly, I have learned that it's not a leadership thing, but all the members of the community are included. It's about ownership, it's about partnership, it's about collaboration, it's about loving being Rwandan. It's about being proudly Rwandan.
The Minister of Local Government, Dr. Patrice Mugenzi, encourages citizens to actively participate in tree planting and maintenance to help improve the climate.
Twese turabizi ko igitari ingirakamaro. Turifuza rero yuko nibura duhereye mu mujyi wacu wa umujyi.
We all know that trees are very important, and our goal is for our city to become an exemplary green city with the contribution of every Rwandan. This initiative shouldn't stop here. We should extend it throughout the whole country. Ideally, every Rwandan should plant at least 1 tree or even 5 to help preserve our atmosphere through tree planting.
In Kigali, as part of the Igiti campaign, residents planted 25,000 trees across the city. The campaign aims to plant a total of 3 million trees over the next 5 years. Still on Umuganda community activities, the Speaker of the Rwandan Parliament, Gertrude Kazarwa, urges citizens to practice good hygiene and care for their children. These were said on Saturday as the members of the Parliament participated in a monthly Umuganda community work in Ruhango District, southern province of Rwanda. Prince Manzi with more.
Trees mixed with crops such as Grevenia and Kaliandra were planted in Ruhango District in today's Umuganda community work, where members of the parliament and various officials joined residents of this district. The trees are important as we have also planted trees feeding domestic animals. We planted Grevenias across the road, and all these provide fresh air.
We planted trees mixed with crops, those that are fed on by domestic animals, those that prevent soil erosion, and trees have many benefits like generating money.
The Speaker of the Rwanda Parliament, Gertrude Kazarwa, urges citizens to plant trees and especially fruits to contribute to proper nutrition and take care of their children.
I want us to take care of our children. We currently have a lot influencing our children through technology. Technology is the best, but again, we have to be careful to avoid having technology as a bad effect. Yet it is needed. For our development, we have to prevent our children from any sort of violence, know their whereabouts and discuss with them.
Ruhango district residents also had discussions with members of the parliament where they demonstrated that there are various infrastructures needed to help them in their development, including proper roads, connecting them with other areas. In addition, are areas that do not have clean water and electricity. Here, the Speaker of the Rwanda Parliament assured the people of advocacy on the issues presented.
To more news, Rwandans living abroad say they take pride in collaborating with the government to address challenges that can be a burden on the state. An example is Emmanuel Sitaki Kainamura, who founded a vocational school to support Rwandan children. He established an organization in 1996 aimed at helping orphans and widows left destituted by the genocide, as well as other vulnerable individuals, as a way of supporting the government in addressing the country's issues. In 2008, he went on to establish a vocational school in the Masaka sector of Kicukiro district to support the government as a member of the diaspora in tackling challenges in the education sector and helping children who could not continue their studies.
I started this ministry, non-profit organization, in 1996 when I came back and I saw the needs that I need to respond to the needs because the youth were helpless and hopeless, that I needed to do something. So then when I went to US, I tried to reach out to different people, diasporate Rwandans who are abroad, even foreigners, people who can grasp, the vision of ERM Rwanda. So that's how I was able to start the sponsorship program, helping orphans and widows. And then in 2008, when these kids grown up, then we had to come out with solutions. And that's how we started the Vocational Training Center in 2008 to give the skills that kids can use, youth can use to provide for themselves. Because I didn't want them to see begging on the street, helpless and hopeless. I want them to be equipped, to be able to be restored, and also to multiply the knowledge they received from the Vocational Training Center. Yes, it's really an answer to the specific need among the youth, because when you equip the youth, you give them the skills they need, they can provide for themselves or going to the looking for jobs. And that is the challenge even now we're facing, because we want them to feel not helpless. We want them to feel like they are responsible, they are equipped, then they can provide for themselves. The country must be built by us as Rwandans. So I want to invite diasporans that to come and bring their stones to build the country, and especially in the youth, because the youth are the leader for tomorrow. The youth are, the future of this country. So if we can join our efforts in diasporic areas and bring what we can do to make that happen, it will change the whole country, because we'll be preparing the future for this country.
The school has now graduated over 5,000 children, providing them with skills in various trades, including mechanics, sewing, hairdressing, and construction. After they complete their studies, they are followed up and assisted in finding jobs in collaboration with sponsors to ensure they do not return to a life of poverty due to lack of employment. Local residents say the school has helped them in many ways, and currently Emmanuel Kainamura says that Rwandans in the diaspora have already accomplished a lot but should put in more effort to help address the issues Rwandan faces, just as he does in the education sector. As of now, a total of 185 students recently completed their studies at the school. Most of them are now employed or self-employed thanks to the support of the institution, and they join 5,000 others who have graduated over the past years. Moving ahead, the Ministry of Environment is advising citizens to plant as many trees as possible, starting with fruit-bearing trees to help improve their access to a nutritious diet. It is expected that 65 million trees will be planted nationwide during 2024-2025 fiscal year. Residents of Rwamagana district say they often face challenges, including lack of rain, and when it does not rain, it is usually very little, sometimes leading to significant impacts on agricultural production. In Munyaga sector of Rwamagana district, the national trees planting season was launched. More than 25,000 trees were planted on Rutonde Hill in this sector. The Eastern Province in general is undergoing special activities aimed at restoring biodiversity, including forests, environmental conservation. Experts say that this province requires special attention.
Seen the change, the restoration, especially by native species, takes time. So we need to look at with the longer term lens, but still I hear the voices from local communities. They are very empowered and proud of what they are doing. For example, the agroforestry, planting forestry in the, the farm, is good for the, because the agroforestry become the fertilizer of the soil for better soil fertility and better productivity of their agricultural products. So they are very happy, and they even requested, can we get the certification from IUCN, for the achievement of deploying nature-based solution on their farm. The Eastern Province, the ecosystems are degraded and are neglected for the long time, although they have a huge potential to secure food security for the people of Rwanda. So that's why we decided to focus.
Various types of trees that residents could plant for immediate benefits were also showcased, and the Minister of Environment urged citizens to prioritize the planting of fruit-bearing trees. And among the millions of trees planted for planting in the 2024-2025 season, there will be trees intercooperated with crops, fruit trees, general forest trees to hold soil, and ornament trees, especially in the urban areas. Staying on the theme of environmental protection, on Friday, One Acre Fund celebrated having planted around 100 million trees of various types in Rwanda. These trees have been planted since 2016, and during this 2024-2025 tree planting season, the organization plans to provide Rwandans with about 25 million agroforestry trees.
So the cornerstone of our strategy as One Acre Fund is a climate resilience strategy. And a part of the initiatives that we have, the biggest initiative is tree planting. So the tree planting campaign is something we do every year. So right now we've come to 100 million trees, and we still plan to plant 25 million trees this year. But beyond that, we will continue to increase the number of trees we are planting every year. But beyond that, we're looking to do other initiatives like reforestation. So we're in conversations with the government to see how we can join forces to really build on this initiative, because we believe that with resilience, tree planting is really very fundamental. It not only kind of helps farmers or the population to adapt to climate change, but it improves the biodiversity of our soils. It improves our soil health, and it also helps us, our smallholder farmers, diversify their crops and their income. And so it makes our clients, our smallholder farmers, so it makes them more resilient to climate change through asset accumulation and diversifying income streams. The other intervention I would like to mention is not only agroforestry trees, but also fruit trees. So to date, we've planted 1 million trees, and we're continuing to grow 5 fruit trees per family, per household in every village where we operate. And so this, we think, will boost the supply chain of fruit trees. And we're also on the market access side, which then really provides more incomes and more lucrative markets for farmers that we serve. The country has signed different treaties, agreements, so we have commitment to respond to those treaties. We committed to achieve some targets. So planting a tree, minimizing the emissions, and producing good air, it's one of the targets. So planting a tree, you save the planet because you reduce the emissions, but at the same time you support in fighting against climate change.
Back to Umuganda activities. This Saturday, members of the parliament participated in the monthly community work held across various districts nationwide, focusing on tree planting initiatives. In Gladys with more.
This community work was attended by members of parliament and other various leaders. Citizens from different districts of Rwanda received seeds, stating that previously those who needed them had to buy them in towns. They confirmed that once they grow, this will help them address issues of malnutrition in their families. From now on, we are going to get firewood easily without going in town. So this is a very good thing they did for us.
The plantation of trees will help us to get good climate and will help us to live in a good condition. In Rwanda, we have a good climate.
In Karongi district, 40 hectares were planted with trees amounting to over 8,000 trees. The State Minister of Education, Irere Claudette, who also represents Gisagara district, stated that the campaign to encourage citizens to plant trees and care for them will continue to address the challenges of climate change, which significantly impacts agricultural productivity. We reminded them that if we don't plant trees, in some time to come, it will affect the climate negatively. And also, that when we plant trees, it affects our well-being, which supports the ongoing of ecosystem. In Ruavu district, Major General retired Minister Albert Murasira joined the residents of Ruavu in planting trees to fight against erosion along Sebeya River.
Birumvikana ko ari byinshi byakozwe bishobora kugabanya ubukana.
It is very relevant that a lot has been done to reduce disasters, especially in this district. But we suggest that people should always be ready to actions according to what we tell them, more especially people living in risky areas.
After the community work, residents were also briefed on various development programs in which they will actively participate. Enora Gladys, RwandaTV News.
Thank you for tuning in to today's broadcast. On behalf of the technical and news production team, we sincerely wish you a restful weekend. Goodbye.